Alright, Shalom. First and foremost, I'm going to start this lesson off by giving all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders, a great millstone. Honors to all the brothers who are firmly pushing the word in sincerity and in faith, and Shalom to all the sincere believers. Now, this is going to be a quick lesson just based on this article. So, I don't want Ratazah. I'm going to read this article, get some precepts, and Lord's will, you're edified. A 35-year-old woman dies in car crash after being cut off. This is a 35-year-old woman was killed Friday night in a car crash on State Road 16, according to Florida Highway Patrol. FHP says a man from St. Augustine was driving a sedan was north on Whisper Ridge Road approaching State Road 16. Troopers say a woman driving a different car was traveling east on State Road 16. Investigators say the man did not yield to the woman and turned left in front of her while trying to get onto State Road 16 to go west. FHP says that caused the woman to hit his car. Yeah, and now she's in the spirit world. And you'll have people that are like, well, we need better traffic enforcement, more stop signs, more stoplights, more police just sitting around waiting for things like this to happen. And what people don't understand is that this is the will of the Lord. And it doesn't matter how many, speed bumps, how many stop signs, how many stoplights, how many police officers you put in a certain area. It's not going to stop the judgments of the Lord from happening. Hebrews 10:31. It is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power. And that's right. And situations like this are evidence of that. Here it is, you're just driving along, probably on your way home or on your way to work or wherever. And, and then somebody like just pulls out in front of you. Like you're just cruising, and then somebody pulls out in front of you, and you don't have enough time to stop, and you crash into them. Now, depending on how fast the woman was going, depending on what road she was on and how fast she was going, that's more than likely why she ended up dead. Because if she was going fast enough, then that crash was a lot more severe than it would have been had she been going at a lower speed. And then, you're going to have the people that say, oh, well, that shouldn't have even happened. And yeah, well, to you, it should not have happened. But the Heavenly Father wanted it to happen. And we see these situations happen every day. Fires break out, cars crashing, planes crashing, all sorts of terrifying and deadly judgments take place every day. Like it says in Psalms 9:16, the Lord Yahweh is known by the judgment which he executeth. The wicked is snared in the work of his own hands, Higgaion Selah. So these car crashes are judgments of the Lord. The Lord brought judgment upon that woman. Deuteronomy 32:39. See now that I, even I, am he, and there is no power with me. I kill, and I make alive. I wound, and I heal. Neither is there any that can deliver out of my hand. And in this particular judgment, the Lord killed that woman by having her crash into that guy who cut her off. The Lord could have easily had it whereas the guy didn't do that, and then nothing would have happened. But the Lord wanted that type of judgment to take place, and therefore it did. And now that woman is in the spirit world. 1 Samuel 2:6. The Lord Yahweh killeth and maketh alive. He bringeth down to the grave and bringeth up. And that's right. And there's no getting around that. There is no getting around the fact that the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, is the one who's executing these judgments through his spirits that are created for vengeance. So when people die in car crashes, plane crashes, helicopter crashes, when these storms and tempests kill people, when these fires and earthquakes kill people, the shootings and stabbings, all of these different judgments result in people's death. That's because the Lord wanted those people to die. Those people were wicked in the eyes of the Lord, and they got what they deserved, which sounds harsh, but that's just the reality of it. And they say that the truth hurts, but hey, it is what it is. Job 4:7, remember, I pray thee, whoever perished being innocent, or where were the righteous cut off? And the answer is that no one has perished being innocent. So that woman was not innocent. That's why the Lord put her in that situation, and she didn't survive. She was not innocent. And a lot of people are too carnal minded to understand. Even as I have seen, they that plow iniquity and sow wickedness reap the same. Now we don't know what kind of wickedness she was doing, but in the eyes of the Lord, whatever wickedness she had done or was doing, warranted her getting put to death, warranted her getting put in the spirit. And this is why, once again, Hebrews 10:31 is so prevalent, that it is a fearful thing to fall into the hands of the living power, because you don't know when the Lord is going to call your number. You don't know if he is going to. And it's supposed to be that fear that keeps you from doing wickedness, because you don't know what's going to happen. But see, a lot of these people in this world lack fear. They lack the fear of the Lord. That's why they're out here, just as wicked as they can be, because they're not afraid of the consequences. They don't think there are any consequences. And on top of that, a lot of people have this you only live once mindset. So they really think that they can be just as wicked and wild and demonic as they want to be, and then they're going to die, and that's just the end of it. But what they don't understand is that reincarnation is a thing. The scriptures tell us that every third or fourth generation we get brought back. So you really don't only live once. And hypothetically, even if you did, why would you want to be a complete demon and then have the Lord bring some heavy, brutal, just horrific judgment upon you? Like, what kind of messed up in the head do you have to be to want that, That's how you know that a lot of these people, they deserve death, because they don't use their brain. Like, instead of wanting to live a healthy lifestyle, and do things that are pleasing in the sight of the Lord, these people want to be demons and anger the Lord. And then when horrific judgment gets brought upon them, then everybody wants to cry about it. And it's like, no, if that person wasn't being a demon, the Lord wouldn't have brought that type of judgment upon them. It really is just that simple. And that's why those of us of the hopeful life, we don't feel bad when we hear stories about people getting put to death in horrific ways, because that person was being a demon. They angered the Lord, and then the Lord brought judgment upon them. You reap what you sow. And in these last days, we're going to see a lot more people getting put to death in horrific ways. Their car bursting into flames, rollover crashes, head-on car crashes, people getting, shot to death and then chopped up into a million pieces and put in garbage bags, and just horrible stuff is going to continue to happen out here, because the Lord is not messing around with these wicked people. Like it says in Psalm 7:11, Yahweh judgeth the righteous, and Yahweh is angry with the wicked every day. That's why every day people get wounded and killed, because the Lord is angry with them, because they're messing around. And the Lord, he's not playing with these people. And like it says in Romans 2:11, there is no respect of persons with Yahweh. So men women and children, wicked men, women, and children, are going to continue to get judged out here. Plain and simple. And as I've said before, these judgments should be reminders and warnings to those of us of the hopeful elect as to what the Lord can do to you when He's not pleased with what you're doing. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up here. Close it on and give all the praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rakakudash, the Wadi Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, for putting the spirit on me to do this lesson. Double honors to the apostles and elders at Great Millstone. Honors to all the brothers who are fervently pushing the word in sincerity and in faith, and shalom to all the sincere believers. Hope you stay strong, stay safe, stay fervent, stay circumspect, stay prayed up, and Adawan Ratazah. Till next time, shalom.